gonna have a good day. No, no, so we're gonna have a good day. We're gonna have a good day. No, no, this ain't about now. We're gonna have a good day. No, no, so we're gonna have a good day. We're gonna have a good day. No, 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 no.
What up? What is up, everybody? Welcome back, and you already know who I am. I'm your host, Mr. 14.
I'm Deidre Beverly.
And this is the Meetup. I have a beautiful, beautiful co-host with me today.
Well,
Introduce yourself to the people that may not be aware of who you are, please.
Hello everyone. Like I said, my name is Deidre Beverly. I am born and raised 717. Played around modeling, acting, cooking. I know y'all taste some shrimp and grits.
That's right. That's right.
So, that's just a little bit of who I am.
Now, don't tell the people you played around with modeling and acting. She is a model.
I'm so humble.
She is a model, and she is an actress. So,
I'm just blessed to be able to do anything that I have a passion for. So I don't ever like to feel like, I let other people do the hyping up.
But look, we are blessed to have you on the show with us today as our guest host. I feel honored. We appreciate it. And let's talk about last night for a minute.
Okay.
Last night was crazy.
Last night was crazy in the greatest way.
Yes, it was.
Yes, it was. Way.
For anybody that doesn't know, last night there was Harrisburg's first 3 times urban art exhibit.
Yes.
And it was bananas. Like, it was really good.
It was definitely Black excellence at its finest. Seeing the artists just really embody who they are. Mm-hmm. Like, their creativity just poured out.
It did. And it was a great time.
It was.
Nothing like it around.
No.
I haven't seen anything like that at all.
Yeah. That's what I love.
It was ratchet enough to not be ratchet. Like, it crept into the urban feel. It gave the urban feel. Yeah. And that was the goal of it.
Like, it started out neo soul and then ended up trap. Mm-hmm. It was perfect. Mm-hmm. It was perfect.
Each artist had their own performance they did.
Yes.
The artists we had last night were Darius Davis.
Yes, talent.
Prolific.
Talent.
And Brian Hickman, Brian Prolific Hickman, I apologize. And Mr. Tristan Bond, they were amazing.
Yeah.
And you got painted.
I did. Painted. Those pictures are coming soon.
How was that? It
was
cold.
So I'm gonna keep it real with you. I was nervous.
I don't blame you.
Because I've never been that exposed before.
Okay. Oh, okay.
No, yeah, I don't. I come from like a reserved style type of life. So
yes.
you gotta understand. Vince is the one who pushed, scene.
Got you out there.
And so I'm still trying to learn how to open up and let it be art. And I loved all the people around because they were saying, "Calm down. This is literally art. Like, you're not just exposing yourself for the heck of it. Like, you're doing this for the culture and the art." So,
it was.
Yeah.
How was the experience? How was it getting painted?
It was fun. When the paint hit me, I was like, "Oh, it's a little cold." But
right. I wish we had some pictures for y'all. I apologize.
Dope?
I wish we had some pictures for y'all.
It was dope. Good Brothers Cafe.
Yes, definitely.
They're going to put my canvas in the cafe.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Good Brothers Book Cafe, located. What was that? 3rd Street. 3rd Street, Harrisburg, PA. I don't got the address right now, but we'll definitely make sure that information is passed out to everybody at some time because it's a great place to be. This weekend we got a few good things coming up.
Yes.
We got the Band Show Artist Showcase.
Oh, and there's some really good artists.
Yes, that's going to be fun. That's going to be fun for anybody that's in town. It's going to be at Reservoir Park. I'm not sure the time, so I apologize, but I'm thinking it's running from maybe about noon to 6.
Okay.
About that time, so there will be vendors there. We got some artists coming out. We got School of Goon. Do De Niro, Daisy Mays.
Oh no!
So you already know it's going to be a good show.
Yeah,
you know it's going to be a good show.
That's a show.
Also this week, I'm going to be performing again.
Aren't you tired? You get tired?
I get tired,
but it's fun though.
These kids gotta eat. Yeah. I got 4 kids. These kids gotta eat. I definitely get tired, but this week I'll be at Milan's fashion show.
Oh, that's gonna be nice.
That's gonna be a great fashion show. It's gonna be at the farm show.
Right.
And there's gonna be a red carpet event from 3 to 5.
Oh, that's dope.
And the show itself will then be from 5 to 8. So please make sure you pop out to that. Again, I will be performing. I will also be in the show itself. Not only will I be in the show, me and my daughter will be in the show.
Okay.
Me and Brio will be in the show. So it's going to be fun. It's definitely something different and fun.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Yeah.
Try to pop out, hit that red carpet. I'm not too fashion savvy, so the
You
red
know
carpet's
what?
going to be fun.
Don't say that, because I feel like fashion is your own personal creativity, your own look. Like there's no stamp on like what makes you fashionable. Like your look is your look. You know what I mean? So rock it.
I can do
At
that.
the fashion show.
I can do that.
Come
I can
as
do
Thomas Johnson. Show them what your fashion is.
Yes.
Somebody might look at it and be like, "Oh, I like how he."
But you know what? Speaking of fashion, I do try to be trendy and keep up with style.
Right.
But I got these
There's a way to
booty
do that
shorts
instead.
on. These booty shorts don't work, bro. Like, these don't work, bro. Like I be seeing guys and they be having the shorts like
with the tight, like
these are above the knee, but
booty shorts.
they be having booty shorts. Like these is anybody that's wanting shorts. My shorts,
those are not booty shorts.
They may be about 2 inches above my knees, and that's a lot. That's a lot for me.
Right,
but,
right.
You know, I try to.
Are you used to the basketball shorts that stop mid calf?
Remember the what were they? The long johns that the guys used to wear.
Yeah, stop like at your ankle.
No, I wasn't doing that, but that was at least covering my knees. My knees look like an old man's ball.
Yeah.
Like you look at my knees, you're like,
well, that tells me that they're lotion. They're not ashy.
They're lotion.
Okay.
That one's got lotion on them. Yes,
so
yes.
He's not ashy, y'all.
No. Yes.
Okay.
Booty shorts. Can't see my cheeks either. But we are going to get into our first product of the week.
Yes.
And we have customized date nights. And it's not just customized, it's it's by Maisha. Yes.
I love that.
Yes. She does date nights for anybody that's interested. Customized date nights.
Let's talk about it.
We can talk about it, but we're gonna run a little video because she got some little things that she does. So I want them to see the video first of what she does. And these are little private date nights that she'll do for anybody that's willing.
So nice.
And she'll also be our giveaway today while we're running this. I can talk about that. She's offering 50% off to anybody who enters our information, the keyword of the day, into our inbox. And the keyword of the day is art. We're gonna go with art.
I like that.
Yeah, art. So I'll mention it again at some time during the show. But you see the steps right there. Pick a location, pick a menu, pick your items, and pick a venue. I did actually take part.
She did.
You said, "Can we talk about it?" Yes, we can talk about it.
Yes, because that was beautiful.
Yes, I did do a date night with my lady, and it turned out awesome. It was a great surprise. I definitely recommend Maisha's food, not just her food, but also her services.
Yes.
Everything was impeccable. From the design to the idea.
That's what I really was impressed about, because of course, the food's gonna be good, but the decor,
everything was nice.
Didn't she have like little menu cards sitting on the table? Yes, like those things stood out to me. Those things stood out to me. I felt like you were really at a restaurant in your backyard.
It was.
There was roses,
really cool.
candles. Yep. I mean, y'all have to go look at those pictures because it was extremely beautiful. Men, if you want to surprise your ladies, hit up Maisha.
Hit her up, because trust me,
you will not be disappointed.
You ain't gonna get some cheeks that night. You get some good cheeks that night.
And your night, that's what I was gonna say.
Your
night is gonna be like that. Just that little bit. It's gonna give you a lot. It's gonna give you a lot now. You what is it? What do they say? You get out what you put in.
Oh, I definitely got out what I put in. I put in. Yeah, I got it. I got it back. We're gonna go to our first guest, guys. Our first guest today is going to be the founder of Push. For anybody that doesn't know what Push means, I love it. It's P-Funk, Uptown, Southside, and Harrisburg. Oh. Before I even talk any more about it, we're going to let him talk about it. You want to introduce our first guest? Yes.
Our first guest is, like he said, the founder of Push in Michael's memory, Mr. Tone Cook.
What's going on with you, brother? Thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you.
How's your day going, brother?
It's going beautiful. I'm alive. I'm breathing. I'm blessed.
That's always a damn good start to any day. You ain't lie about that, brother. But we're going to jump right into things. Now, we know that you are the founder of Push. You want to tell us a little bit about that and how you got it together?
Yes. First, I'm going to talk about Michael's memory. Michael's memory was put together because the loss of my brother, Mike Cook. Mike died by a gunshot to the face. He was 15 years old. This happened in 1997. So Mike made a real big impact on our communities. For anybody that knew him, at his age, he was already ahead of his time. So I put Michael's memory together to try to push forward what he used to do to other people. Like he used to make people feel good. And honestly, that's the only thing that makes me feel good. So I try to push that on to other people in hopes that it can make them feel good and pass on this memory like that. And I brought Push together, P-Funk Uptown Southside Hill, because we were always at a standoff. We were always at odds. We was beefing with each other over nonsense. People getting shot over nothing. So I brought that together to try to push the communities together. But not only that, I try to push the youth in a better direction as well as adults.
Yes.
So that's what that's all about.
And how's that been going? Like, are there any now you said something about a cleanup that you guys have, right?
Definitely.
So is there anything else in the community that you guys are doing?
Yes, we got a cleanup coming up on the 15th. Me, Andre McCamey, Tim Taylor, Scooter Goon, Llama, Bike Organization. So it's quite a few of us there, but it's not all. See, everybody thinks it's just about a cleanup.
Right.
Nah, see, you got to open up and think a little deeper than that, because this is not just a cleanup. This is about cleaning our communities, but it's about cleaning ourselves, and it's about showing our youth
Absolutely
unity with each other. Because if they do it while they're younger and build and grow like that, then 9 times out of 10 you're not going to be able to separate, and they can stop something that can potentially rise later on down the line when they're older as adults. So I try to bring the youth together and interact, not only just cleaning up. But we also got another thing coming up, a bike ride for cancer. That's the reason why I got pink on. See, I don't just do no specific month. We can do it anytime, because this goes on every day and we all affected by it.
Yes. Real men wear pink, bro. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I love it. I love it. Now, outside of, you said the youth and everything, what made you really get Push put together? What were your ideas behind that?
Honestly, I was talking, me and my old head, Brian Pendleton, right? I came up with the Push, but he told me before, he was like, yo, man, Push, this is what it should be, and this is what it is. I said, nah, we're going to make it like this. So I had an idea with somebody else, and when I put it together because at that difference, it was at them odds. And in order for somebody to, you can't be anybody and just try to stop this. You have to be somebody that's out here, that's active, and if we don't push these communities together now, then it's not going to happen, man. We're going to be always at odds. We're going to be beefing.
I like one thing that I like about what you're doing is you have to start somewhere. Someone has to be the voice. Someone has to make the changes, because if we continue to do the same things in our community and let the same things go on, we're going to get the same result. So it takes for you to go out and say, you know what, we're going to do a cleanup. We're going to ride for cancer. Bringing our community together is not, and like you said, it's not about just a cleanup. Coming together and taking care of your people and yourself and your community. There's pride in that. It builds pride. It builds character. I really.
Excuse me, not to cut you, but another thing, right? Us as people, we always wait until something happens, and then we make a lot of noise about it after something happens. So God forbid that this happens. What if a child goes outside, falls down, get cut, and have to lose a limb? And then everybody's going to run outside and say, oh, we should have did this. We should have stopped that. We should have cleaned up. They need to be cleaning up. No, what happens? We need to go out there and stop it before it even happens. We always wait for something to happen and then react to it. We need to take action before all of that.
Need to be more proactive opposed to reactive. Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, bro, like I said, I appreciate everything that you're doing in the community. It's been, from where you started to where you're at now, I definitely commend you. But tell the people just a little bit. I know we only got a couple more minutes before we wrap up, but tell the people just a little bit about where you started and where you're at now, bro.
When I first started, it was just me and my cousin. It was Beach and Dut. We first started, we didn't think that it was going to be the way it is now. I honestly, to this day, when people tell me something, oh, keep doing what you're doing, I still don't think that I'm making a big impact. Because honestly, I don't think that I even got started yet. Out of a 1,000-page book, I'm only on it I'm only on the introductions. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot to come, but where I'm at right now, I'm still not nowhere. So it's like I'm still hungry. I don't see what everybody else see, and I want everything to be different. And I'm not gonna stop pushing until it's different.
I love the fact that you're humble about it, bro. But I can definitely tell you that you are doing it.
Yeah.
You are doing what you set out to do. It may not be as big as you wanted to be yet, but it's definitely impacting people's lives, not just personally, but also I see a difference in the community as well because of what you do. There are a lot of children that, and you remember when we grew up, bro. You know how it was. I see some of those same kids now taking different routes, not necessarily because of everything that you're doing, but it starts from what you're doing and it leaks down to other areas. So what you're doing, bro, I don't want you to downplay it because you're doing something big. You're doing something real big.
I appreciate that, man.
So keep doing it. We're going to wrap up real quick, bro. Is there anything you want to say before we get into our group discussion? We're going to bring you back in a couple minutes.
Yo, I want to say one real quick thing.
Absolutely.
I want to talk about the goal. I don't got enough time, but we need to talk about the things that's going on behind them walls because it's a lot going on with these guards. Like me, for instance, I wasn't fed for 2 weeks, dinner and lunch. Only thing I could eat was breakfast because the second shift, Camp Hill or Cold Township, they didn't want to feed me. I did wrong by doing what I was doing, but that doesn't make it right for an officer to come up with something to find an excuse to not feed a person. So we need to start focusing more on what's going on behind the walls that they hide.
Absolutely.
Because they're doing us dirty.
Absolutely. We'll definitely be talking a little bit more about that when we bring up our criminal justice reform topic. That is the discussion of the day. But we're going to let you go for right now, brother. Don't go nowhere because we're going to bring you back shortly for our group discussion. But again, give it up for Mr. Tone Cook, guys. Appreciate you, G. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
But we are going to now, what we got here? We got Mr. P-Tie in the building. And it's, hey, Mr. DJ. Hey, Mr. DJ. I just love the name of his little segment here.
Hey, Mr. DJ.
Hey, Mr. DJ.
I appreciate it, man.
Hey, Mr. DJ. You already know that this, but bro, you already know what time it is. Do your thing. Let us know what's going on. Let us know what you hate. Hold on. Let's start off with what you hate. I know it's always something that you hate.
Well, first of all, I want to say what's up, y'all. Thanks for tuning in. Glad to be back.
Yes.
Miss y'all. Miss everybody.
Yes.
Shout out to DJ in the building.
Woo.
What I hate, man. What do I hate this week?
What you know? It's always something somebody do.
Here you go. As a matter of fact, this happened to me recently. Not so much that I hate it. I find it funny when you get booked, you show up to the venue, you setting up, and the people start coming in, and they're like, "Oh, well, where's DJ so and so?" Like,
oh no, that's disrespect.
What?
I always found that funny. I'm like, well, unfortunately, obviously, DJ so and so ain't here tonight. It's me. So not so much that I hate that. It's just I always found that funny.
I mean, but like, why would you ask that?
And then not only that, by the end of the night or at the end of the event or whatever the case is, all oh, you did such a great job, yada yada yada.
But you was looking for
you was looking for DJ Bob at the beginning.
Right. So it's like I appreciate, I always I take it in stride. I always found that funny. As far as events, it's been crazy for me, so I haven't really been keeping up with stuff personally. But I did get 2 exclusives from Harrisburg's own Niagara. And Dream Love.
Yeah.
They did their rendition of, I'll call it a rendition because I don't want to say a copy or
it's their own version.
Their own version of Meg Thee Stallion Stop Shit.
Drop that.
Yeah, they did 2 freestyles. So I'm gonna run these joints real quick, but them joints is crazy.
Right.
Song
I love
of
how
the
they
week.
did it at the same time. That was
I love it. I love it. Song of the week.
This first one is Niagara.
You know, Lil Ju made it. See, I don't even come off the brain. I'm such a king out of scheme. I'm a bitch getting to a bag, but I'ma put a bitch in the ass, how many licks? Nah, I've been docked on my little pimp shit. Sprite can dick in my right hand on the pen. That's my bitch, she writing. Make me crazy. Hate me, you watch me lately, it's crazy, but I don't give a fuck. Bitch gonna slide with a gun and it's up on a disc on rock. Back on my thigh shit, I'm twerking, I'm working, and watching, crowds in the height. Move for the night, we all getting drunk and my niggas wanna fight.
Hey, that was nice.
The energy.
Even when I'm asleep, I'm still gonna profit. Never just a bag cause of an after me. She ran the dash trying to catch up to dream. I heard she mad cause she felt magically. Baby, no slash ain't none after me. Fuck a snack on my whole dinner. I forgot to ride, the nigga reconsider. He heard I drip little glitter. Send him back to you, now he acting all bitter. What the fuck?
Hey, look, I'm gonna tell you what. Harrisburg got talent.
Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna say there. Because they both, I don't want to say they did better than the original, but I'm gonna say it.
Yeah,
They did better.
I would
than the
definitely,
original?
if when the remix come out, they should be on it.
Yeah.
They definitely blew that out the water.
And then like it's two completely different styles, but I have so much love for the both of them. Like I love Niagara's energy, and I love Dream has like this. How would you describe? It's yeah, you know.
Smooth.
But
she's like she should be sitting back smoking a cigar when she raps.
Right. Yes. Love
yes.
the both of them. They're both really
Yeah,
talented,
them
and
together.
they're also beautiful people behind. all of
Yes,
them.
yes.
That's what I love too.
Inside and out.
Yes, they do not compete.
No,
For you to
that
drop
part,
that at the same
that
time
part.
shows you where they're at
They are
as two black
definitely.
women in the industry. Like we're not trying to compete with each other. We're going to show all of y'all that we're both dope.
They want to see each other succeed, and not just each other succeed,
Yes,
but everybody
I love
else
that.
as well.
Everything
You
about
can
that was
see
hot.
it.
I'm so glad that he did that.
Nah, definitely.
So
Pete
make
Time
sure
got
y'all
them
go
right
check that out.
beats.
Y'all go check that out. Look both of them up. Niagara FMC and Dream Love. Dot shit freestyles. Y'all definitely need to check them joints. I didn't get to play the whole joint, but y'all,
That
They
Niagara
got
joint.
videos too.
Yo,
No,
yeah,
Niagara's
the
joint is.
YouTube.
Go on
Yeah.
YouTube
Go
and
on
watch
YouTube.
the
The videos are there.
videos.
You know what's crazy about it though? I can't really when I play all three.
Uh-huh.
I be having this. I struggle with who I want to put.
Who you
first.
right.
Like, because I don't want to, like, I play Meg's version, of course.
I'm gonna say this: don't play that Meg shit no more. Play their shit.
Right.
You know what? That's
Shit.
true though.
Turn the city out.
So, but what I do is I'll play the intro of Meg's joint. I'll play her verse first,
Oh.
and
Gotcha.
then I drop them. But it's like between
That's
the two,
dope.
it's like who.
Who starts and who ends?
Yeah.
I got you.
But I normally
I love them both.
I end off with Dream because she got, like I said, she got
That's
smooth.
yeah.
So
That's a great way to
Makes
finish
sense.
it.
I transition from her energy. You know what I mean?
Nah, that's
But
good
yeah.
shit, bro. Like I said, Harrisburg got talent.
Yeah.
And thank you for dropping those gems
Yeah.
on the people that may not have heard or even knew about them.
Right.
Because those joints smack. Like,
Which I definitely need to be up on them too.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Appreciate y'all.
nope. Thank you, Pete Ty. Hey, Mr. DJ. You already know what it is. I love the name. Hey, Mr.
Hey, Mr. DJ.
See? Yeah, I wasn't going to sing it. I don't sing the shit. I say the shit.
Right.
But no, Pete Ty is always in the building, man, and always dropping great knowledge for us. Lets us know where to go. Lets us know what's happening. Like I said, the only things happening this week that I'm aware of are the fashion show and the band show showcase. We always got S Club with Monday Night Mood Swings. There's always something going on there. That's hosted by Nika
What is it?
and Do De Niro. We got Tempted Tuesdays also at S Club. Big shout out to DJ Cashmere, S Club DJ, I would say. Big shout out to Cashmere for linking up the night. And we are going to. But what else was happening this weekend? We have anything else happening this weekend? Last weekend, actually. Was there anything? Because I know downtown was crazy. Harrisburg. I'm gonna give a shout out to downtown Harrisburg.
Yo, the
I'm gonna give a shout out to downtown Harrisburg.
Nightlife is really jumping off.
The nightlife been crazy in downtown Harrisburg.
Yeah.
We outside. You already know. I think I'm getting a little too old for the nightlife downtown. But that it's
You know
it's
what's
what
crazy?
it should have always been from what I'm
Do
saying.
I have scientists?
Absolutely, drop it.
Okay.
Yes.
I want to say this. Like, even though I'm not considered like old yet,
I am.
I realized that I was with Dream actually.
Mhm.
I went like to where she stays at and stuff, and we thought we was gonna go downtown.
Right.
All I wanted to do was like
Couldn't make
go to
it.
sleep. And I was like, yo, I can't do this anymore. Like, I literally can't do this.
So you
nightlife.
think you're not officially old. However, it appears that
like
way.
the only time I want to go out to something is if there's networking involved,
Yes.
or like some type of business.
She old.
Yeah,
She
like
getting old, y'all.
I really am.
Whether she thinks it or not, she
Blame
getting
it on,
there.
I blame that on Vince stuff. Like, he
Yeah.
has my mind so business oriented now.
But not only that, I think
Like, I kind of, the party is done, I feel.
Right.
Unless I'm
it's from us
celebrating a win.
From us being locked up all year, it's kind of like you're not
You
used
gotta
to
be
being
outside now.
there. You ain't used to being outside no more.
Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
So when you get the opportunity, I take all shots at it. But we're gonna bring on our second guest. This is a great guest that we have coming up. She is running for Common Pleas Judge, if I'm not mistaken. If I
That is
am mistaken,
awesome.
she will definitely correct that for me. I'm
That's
certain of that.
awesome.
But we are going to bring in Miss LaTasha Williams.
Hi.
Hello. How are you today?
I am doing well. How's everybody?
Good.
We are good. We
Very
are good.
You look beautiful. And
Oh, thank you.
I just love your energy.
That vibrant yellow always sets it up, right?
Came on, and I was like,
You want
so much.
to jump right into things. Like, we know you're running for Common Pleas Judge. So I'm going to be Bill Maher for a minute. What changes are you planning on bringing to the community? How you plan on helping us out?
Well, so Court of Common Pleas, I'll just back it up just a little bit to unpack it for some people who may not be completely clear on what a common pleas court judge does, because I'm actually still approached by people who think that I'm running for magisterial district justice. And so it's very important that, I help make that distinction and help to educate the voters on the differences in the two positions. The magisterial district justice is, I would say, the first level of judicial authority. For the most part, things get a little different when you're talking about Philadelphia and Allegheny counties, but for the most part, that's the first level of judicial authority. And then the next level is the Court of Common Pleas. And that's where the court decides everyday matters from adoption to divorce to child custody, indirect criminal contempt, which is when a person is in violation of a protection from abuse order. That's where protection from abuse orders are ordered and granted. Of course, your criminal trials, anything from a misdemeanor trial or a felony trial before a judge or a jury. The court also presides over civil trials where there's a dispute because maybe someone was hurt or someone had damage to their property. So that's what the Court of Common Pleas does. And insofar as changes, that is a question that I do get a lot. And I always make the distinction in terms of the branches of government. And so the judiciary doesn't really make changes or doesn't make law. That's for our legislative branch to do. The judiciary interprets those laws that our legislative branch makes happen. So that's our state representative, our state senator. They get together and they come up with ideas and they introduce bills. And eventually the governor signs them into law or doesn't sign them. And then as a judge, it is a judge's job to interpret existing law.
Right.
So I can't make change in that regard, but in terms of policy, that's where I see the opportunity to ensure that justice is meted out fairly, where I can ensure that, one person from one particular zip code and one particular township within Dauphin County is treated the same way based on similar facts from someone else who lives in a different zip code or a different township within Dauphin County. And so that's what I'm looking forward to, and that's what I will do should I be so honored and lucky to be elected to the bench. And that election is on November the 2nd of this year.
Yes, okay.
What drove you to even pursue this as an opportunity for yourself?
I always wanted to be a judge. I would say dating back 20 years, and that was based on different experiences and encounters I had with judges. These were judges in Philadelphia County because that's where I went to school, where I completed my undergraduate studies and got my first start at working in the real world. And then, honestly, I was just sort of living my life earlier this year, and I was approached and asked if I would run. And I think that's something that had been challenging because for those who don't know the history of the bench here in Dauphin County, it's been predominantly Republican. There have only ever been 2 Democrats elected to the bench ever in 230 something.
Wow.
Yeah. What else? There's never been a Black woman to serve on the bench. And so it's been a very interesting process here. And so I said, well, let me think about it. And so I thought about it and I took a look at the seat that was vacant. And so that was a seat vacated by Judge Janine Turgeon in her retirement. So I said, okay, it's a woman who is retiring or who has retired. So it just makes sense that, given the imbalance, that a woman should replace another woman.
Right.
And then I just looked at the fact that, there is no incumbent and just other factors, and looked at the numbers to see how people voted in the last election and in the election before that, looked to see whether people vote, period, looked to see what the attendance is like in a year when we're not electing a president. So I looked at all of that information and decided that it's like now, or I don't want to say never, but that now would be an opportune time. I also took a look at the Republicans to see who they were endorsing, if you will, and they sort of made it clear their endorsement very early in the process. And so I knew that it would be Attorney Engel. And so just in looking at all of that, I thought that I would have a really good shot at winning. And so here we are.
Yes.
Good.
I think that your position is just as important than if you were to have to make changes. Like the fact that you are able to sit in that seat if you are elected and be fair to everyone, that really, really, really matters. That impacts, I think, just about the same or more.
Yeah.
Because I oftentimes, and I know we're going to get into it later, you have judges that give these harsh judgments to people due to race, gender, like you said, zip code, and it's unfair.
Right.
So the fact that you're able to make that change from that seat, if you're elected, I feel like it's really important.
What do you think? What do you think is your biggest challenge while you're running?
Encouraging people to come out and vote and making them understand the importance of this upcoming election. No, we're not voting for our president. We're not voting for, our senators or even governor, but it's the local races, such as the one I am running in, that had that more profound direct impact on people's everyday lives, because it's not, your governor who determines whether there's an increase in your child support payments. It's not the president who determines, whether or not you get to see your kid. It's your Court of Common Pleas judge who makes that decision, how much you pay in alimony, whether or not you receive your awarded damages for an injury that you sustained. That is your Court of Common Pleas judge who makes that decision. And so it's just been my mission, our mission, the team's mission, to make sure that voters are aware of that and that they don't get caught up in the victory of May the 18th, which absolutely was a victory, winning the primary municipal election. And it's something that we're absolutely proud of. However, we have to make sure that we get to the finish line and across the finish line. So that is, I think, one of the biggest challenges, but I'm up for it. We've been going out door to door, knocking on doors, trying to raise money. And, one thing that is challenging is in a judicial race, candidates are not permitted to ask for money. And that's very different. Whether it's a mayoral race, state representative, other races, that's not the case. But as someone who is seeking the office of judge, we cannot ask for money, but we do need money in order to reach voters, in order to for you to receive, mailers in your mailbox, in order for you to receive text messages right before the election.
Right.
All of that costs money. And I can't ask, but I do have a website. And on the website, there is a link, and you can explore the website. It is www.LaTasha4countyjudge.com. So that's another challenge to, me personally and my personal capacity, not being able to make certain asks. But I do understand the importance of that rule because it's important that voters and the community feel that a judge is not swayed, that a judge is not biased, and that a judge is not bought. So I do understand it, but that is the limitation that we do have.
Well, no worries. We definitely got you covered here.
Yes.
She can't ask for money, but run that again for us, Miss Produce over there. If you want to donate anything, that's where you got to go to donate it. And I'm going to tell you what, there's a lot of men out there who are child support and alimony. So I'm sure you got some voters on your side that fast. But we'll be bringing you back in a few minutes. Right now, we're about to eat some food, and we'll be bringing you back in maybe about 5 minutes here for a good discussion on some criminal justice reform. So let's give it up again for Miss LaTasha Williams. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's what we're about to eat, right? What we got? What we got today? What we got today feeding us? We got cupcakes. Cupcakes. That's what cupcakes is always good.
Right.
Y'all be feeding us snacks.
Right.
Like they be feeding us meals sometimes. When y'all feed us snacks.
Right.
I always feel better about myself for some reason. Like I always smile when I know a snack is coming.
That's like real childish.
Right. I know. It's like, yeah,
It makes me
snack
think of my
time.
kids.
Snack
Like,
time.
that was good.
See, I'm gonna do
Y'all
this.
see that?
I'm gonna do this so you can get some. I'm gonna do this so you can get some too. I ain't gonna
Oh, we got
put my whole hand up. But we have
So this is CC's Cake Shop.
Yes.
Okay, CC's Cake Shop. Where
I
is that? Where is that
spilled shit.
located? I never.
Wait a minute.
She has a physical location.
Mm.
Oh, okay. Does she?
Order.
Okay, you can
She
order.
does have her Instagram is down there, and you can also get her on Facebook. Her Facebook is CC's Cake.
Whoa.
sometimes you eat a cupcake and it's a cupcake. And you know, the cupcake is going to give you.
Yeah.
This is giving me some,
And you know what? I'm not
not
a big.
necessarily heavy, but it's filling.
It's very light and airy. Right. And I'm not a big, I don't know how y'all feel. I'm not a big icing. But this is cool.
Sometimes I'll scrape the icing off the cake.
Sometimes it's overwhelming. This is good.
This is really good. And she also gave us, I don't know if you get the other one, George.
I like chocolate.
It's a maple. You're good. This is a maple cake with cream cheese icing and bacon. That's what this is. Hope you ain't allergic, girl.
No,
Cece, let me kill my guest
I
co-host.
have seasonal allergies.
Let me kill my guest co-host.
And it always comes in threes. I can never sneeze once.
Cupcake, awesome. I'll give you that, ma'am.
Mm.
Now this is gonna be the test.
Is busting. Don't they know what they
I don't. I think the kids say that.
It's
They say busting. They say busting. They do
This
say
chocolate
busting.
doing busting.
I like that. But now this is gonna be the real test. I've never had that.
Okay, I don't know.
This is maple cake with cream cheese, well, and we're gonna and bacon. Okay. I'll let you know.
Okay, we gotta do the bacon part.
Yeah, we gotta get a piece of bacon. Okay. It's bacon. You gotta get a piece of bacon. Now don't forget this tasted live. So they're good.
Let me see.
I'm waiting to taste something one day, but this ain't good.
That's good.
It all goes together.
I
was worried about the icing with the bacon.
Yeah, that's what I was like.
It actually doesn't. It's not bad.
It's good. It is.
It's good.
That's good.
Hit her up. Information is running at the bottom of your screen. CC's Cake Shop. And you said that. I try to swallow and talk.
It's good.
Hit her up at again the CC's Cake Shop at cc'scakeshop.com. Her Instagram is Cakes by CC.
Cakes.
It's not C and a C, it's CECE. So make sure you hit her up. And thank you so much for this delicious. And this my producer's taking it from me because I always keep eating. You're taking it from me now, guys. I'm sorry. I will continue to eat that until it's taken. So thank you for taking that from me. But we got again CC's Cake Shop. Please make sure y'all hit her up. Anybody who's ever interested in us tasting their products live on the air, y'all see me in these streets, I'll be out. Hit me up. Let me know. I'm always willing to taste it live.
Y'all need like a soul food spot to hook you up.
I need
some baked mac, some greens, some chicken, some
y'all heard
sweet
that.
potatoes.
So that's what we need.
Let's showcase a soul food spot. I'm
and don't just give us a sample. Give us a meal. We'll take it. We'll gladly take the meal. But thank you for that, CC. We are going to get into our group discussion today. And again, our group discussion today is on criminal justice reform. in my opinion, it definitely needs some reform, especially in our community.
It needs tons of
Mm-hmm. And I've known people that have been affected by it, and there are people, millions of people, unfortunately, millions of
I
people
feel like
that I
every which way
don't
you
know.
turn, you
Mhm.
know someone that's dealing with something
Yep.
unjust.
Yep.
So
We're gonna wait to reform it, but before we get into that, if you want 50% off on a customized date night, enter the word art, A-R-T, into our inbox, and you will be put into our wheel of blessings, and we will spin that and see who comes up a winner. Again, the keyword is art. Enter it in the inbox, 50% off on a customized date night. Men, you better listen.
50% off. First of all, you're not even spending full price. So the price is getting cut in half, and you don't understand what you're about to receive.
And you'll
because
need
of
to
that.
tell your girl you got 50% off.
Yeah, don't tell her.
You don't need to tell her why. But we're gonna get into this group topic. Again, let's bring back Mr. Tone Cook and Miss LaTasha Williams for this great topic.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? How y'all doing?
Yes,
Good,
thank you, and welcome back. Welcome back. Now, the first thing I want to get into is something that was super big, I would say, earlier this year and late last year with the uprising that we had, and also prior to that with all the police brutality we had going on.
That was
How do you guys feel about, and we're going to start with LaTasha on this, how do you feel about abolishing the police?
Oh, I don't even know what that means. I'm just going to be perfectly honest with you. Maybe it's the lawyer in me. I don't know, but
I got you.
Words are very important, and I honestly, I don't know what that means. I've not really heard anyone explain to me in a coherent manner what that means, what that looks like. We absolutely need law enforcement, because I know if it's 2:00 in the morning and I hear something coming through my window, who am I going to call? I'm going to call 911. So I am not sure exactly what that means, but I do know that there is a place in society for law enforcement. Now, of course, we need to ensure that the people who do wear the badge are people that we can trust, are people who are not also breaking the law, but to completely get rid of, abolish, I don't know what that means.
Tone, how you feel about that, bro?
Me personally, I don't think that the police should be abolished. No, because there are laws that we gotta abide by in every day. Period. It's laws that we gotta abide by. So I'm not with just getting rid of them. I don't know where that came from neither, but I feel as though we still need to govern ourselves, though.
Yeah.
It doesn't necessarily mean like, all right, they'll say, no, we need to govern ourselves and do what we have to do. But I don't necessarily agree with that.
Right. I don't mind necessarily, I'm not going to say completely defunding the police, but I would say definitely put some of the funds into other resources, especially with mental health. I think there are a lot of times where police are called and there's a mental health crisis and they're not really sure how to react to it. I think there are different ways to allocate the funds, but not necessarily abolish. I need the police. I need the police. I'm sorry.
I don't agree with that either. I don't think we should abolish police. I do think maybe hold certain officers accountable more.
Absolutely.
For doing things in an unjust manner. And once we start to hold more police officers accountable, we won't really have a thought as to want to abolish them. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, with that being said, right, not to cut you off or nothing like that.
No, you're good.
That being said, because we do have, there's a lot of officers we have that are bad, we have good. But the bad is always going to override the good, because we're seeing more bad than anything. But we had a run-in with an officer, I can't remember her name, me and Dante LeBron. It's like we got this, and when we bring it to their attention, there's nothing ever changed. So I think with the funds, when you spoke about the funds, that also needs to go back into their training. That whole training thing needs to be switched up. It needs to be switched up, because 9 times out of 10, if one of these police officers, they don't interact with the community unless it's something bad. They only come when it's a phone call being made about something bad. But when we throw events for the community, sometimes these guys come out as citizens. Not just police officers. Come out and interact, because if you don't build that and bridge that gap, it's always going to be a standoff. So with the fund, I think that they need to, with the funds, they definitely need to be retrained. They need to change everything up. Everything. They need to be trained different.
Yeah, I totally agree. For the next question, and we're gonna start out with Tasha.
Mhm.
Why do you think there's such an issue with repeat offenders? Why do you think there's such an ongoing issue? Why are there so many repeating offenders? What is your take on that?
Well, so a lot of times people return to the behavior that they know, and they return home from incarceration to the same communities where, you know, they have their problems. And so I think that's, and a lot of it sometimes is not because it's what they want to do. It's not necessarily by choice, but they have nowhere else to go. So, you know, it's kind of hard to separate yourself from certain people, places, and things when that's all you know. When these people, places, and things sometimes are your family. So,
Right.
that's the issue.
Unfortunately.
In addition to unaddressed, you know, mental health issues, substance abuse issues, and you can't make someone want to stop smoking crack, stop getting high, stop, you know, doing whatever it is their drug of choice, alcohol. They have to recognize that they do have a problem and want to change that. So I think that's a problem as well.
Right.
Mhm.
And same thing with you, Tone. How do you feel about the issue of repeating offenders?
I feel as though like most of us are just pushed out there. You know, they get a certain amount of money for us being incarcerated. I say us because I've been there. Being incarcerated every day, they get a certain amount of money. But when the doors open for us to be released, we get kicked out the door with nothing. So it makes it harder for us. Now we got to run back to, like you said, what we're known to do.
Right.
We come up this way. This is all we know. So we're forced back to that. And not only that, it's the counseling. The counseling's not all intact. The counseling, you go to the halfway house and it's still the same thing going to the halfway house as going to the street. So you're automatically going like, man, I got to get back to this. So that's a part of the reason why a lot of us return. And me personally, that's a part of the reason why I returned, because I felt as though like, man, this is what I got to do. I don't know how to do the job. I don't know how to do this. So I believe that's a part of it. Also counseling.
Now, what measures do you think we can put in place to help avoid that? We can start with you, Tom. Like, what things you could think can be put in place to help avoid the recidivism and just repeat offenders going back?
I think that we can stand up because we don't necessarily have to wait on nobody else. We can stand up and help each other. We can stand up, and if we know somebody that's just coming home being released, we can get together. Like say when somebody comes to jail, you get them a package, you can get them clothes, cosmetics, all that. Take it to the halfway house on them.
Yes.
Be that support. Speak to them, talk to them, try to get them out and show them something different rather than be like, here, take this. That's the wrong way to do it. So if we can do that and come together like that, that's taking off the load from the counselors who's supposed to do it, but we can do it because we got that relationship and we can help out a lot. So I think it takes us to take that initiative to help too.
How you feel about that, Tasha?
I completely agree. And I don't think, you know, people realize, I mean, you could go away and do a county bid, but, you know, that changes your entire life to come home to nothing.
Right.
And you have to start all over from scratch, from your toiletries to your undergarments, clothes, like, you know, and so it takes a lot to build that back up again. So as a community, speaking of what Tone said, if we come together and help each other out when someone does re-enter society from having been incarcerated, I think that can be helpful.
And now that
sounds
awesome.
like the next push.
Yeah, right. That definitely sounds like a good push
I
program.
really love that.
Because what I see a lot is guys returning home, you know, from whatever they did. But I also see a lot of their friends throwing them a couple $1,000, couple outfits, and saying, "Hey, let's get right back to making that money." So what you guys are both saying are definitely important steps. But I think we need to think of a way as a community to put those actions in place to help people.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with that being said, with the there's a big racial disparity. Why do we think that is? I'm just leave it at that. Why do we think that is? We can start with you, Tasha, on that one.
Oh, okay. So, if I may, I did just want to add to the last that we were talking about, but it's also incumbent upon the person who's returning home to realize that if they can be up in the mountains making 19 cents an hour, they are not too good to come home and make $9 or $10 an hour, because I do hear people return home. I ain't doing that. I'm like, are you kidding me? So that's an important piece too that I just wanted to put out there.
Very, very much so. Absolutely.
Now, insofar as racial disparities, I mean, I think we live in a great country. I actually think that I love our Constitution. I love the concept of it. I love, the amendments to the Constitution, because what better way to judge a person than to have, a jury of their peers sit and evaluate the evidence and then make a decision as to whether or not they're guilty. All the presumption of innocence, all these ideals embodied within our Constitution. The problem is the human beings, the people who are in position to actually make sure that those ideals are carried out. So with that said, you just have to look at the history of our country, how we got here, the people of color who were already here. And we all know how that ended. So the people of color who were brought here across the Atlantic Ocean. So I think it all goes back to that. But I come from a place where I don't think all is lost. And I think we have come a very long way. Just the fact that, I'm sitting here as your Democratic nominee, I would have never, seen this in a million years. So we have come a long way, but, we do have ways to go. But I just think just looking at the history of, this country.
Now, Tone, you mentioned something earlier in our pre-meeting about the conditions inside is sometimes even what pushes people to do what they do when they get back out. You want to talk a little bit about what happens on the inside for those that don't know?
Yes, definitely. We see a lot of people don't mention, right? Like I'm gonna speak on me. I'm not gonna speak on nobody else. I was in SCI, Camp Hill. I was in Benner. And when SCI Camp Hill, not saying that it was the right thing to do. I know I was doing wrong. I got caught in the institution selling marijuana. But when I go to the hole, the officers wouldn't feed me for weeks. They didn't feed me for 2 weeks. I didn't eat nothing but breakfast because first shift was the only ones feeding me. So, and I wasn't the only one being treated like this. It was dudes being treated like this. But then when the lieutenants come around, they will all act like being as though they keep some type of loyalty thing. Their loyalty thing, they won't mention it nothing. The lieutenants will look at you like, yeah, get out of here. Get out of here. But the stuff that goes on behind the wall, people ain't eating. And I mean, I guarantee you, I promise you, I know what's happening right now. So it's like that type of stuff there is really like, come on, and 9 times out of 10, it's all white people. So if that's what it boils down to, man, it's like, we ain't getting nowhere yet.
Right.
We got just a tiny bit, but we ain't getting nowhere yet. So it's like, this is the stuff that goes on behind the walls. You got guards coming to you doing all this crazy stuff. And then when they pat you down, they would do things like grab you in certain areas to be smart. You know what I mean? So it's like it's a lot going on, but don't nobody speak about this.
Yeah.
And this is what we really need to focus on, man. It's hard in there, and I know it's a lot of people in there hurting right now.
Yeah. I just to piggyback off of what you're talking about, Tone. It's inhumane.
Right.
It's inhumane, and so it does bother me because I don't know if either of you have watched certain documentaries like The Exonerated Five, the Khalif Browder story, like the psychological impact that it puts on someone in there. That's a huge part of when you're coming out. Well, to jump back to when you're coming out, you need counseling to get back on your feet, but you very much need counseling. Yeah. And so I want to ask the both of you, How do you guys think we could help people as far as how do you get someone to realize, okay, you've been traumatized in this situation for so long and you come out, you need to seek help, mental health for your mental health.
Yeah, well, are there any steps?
Is there any solutions?
Are there any programs even? Either one of you can jump in on that.
Yeah, either one.
Are there any programs?
I
You want to
have,
go first?
okay.
I'll
What
go
do
first.
you? That's really complicated because there are, now of course I've never been incarcerated, but I do have close friendships with people who have spent 20, 30, 40 years in prison, and getting mental health treatment has been a challenge for some of them because to what Tone said, there's a lot that goes on behind those walls, and it can be really traumatizing to relive it. And people who have never been incarcerated, I feel, could benefit from therapy. So to have lived in a prison akin to a cage in a controlled environment, which is unnatural. We are social beings as human beings, so that's a completely unnatural environment. I think that everyone who goes away for longer than 3 days needs to speak to someone. But that has to be something that the person is ready to do and wants to do. But there are services available for that. A lot of times, people will come home and they're able to get assistance from the government, and through that assistance they can get mental health treatment. But again, I think they have to be willing to do that. I personally know people who were on the brink of coming home, and when the topic came up, ain't nothing wrong with me, I don't need to talk to nobody. Those were their exact words.
And so how do you feel about what do you think is preventing people, as we wrap up, what do you think is preventing a lot of especially Black people from even seeking mental health after returning home?
See, I want to. This is a big part of it. Like, we don't like to open up to everybody. We don't like to open up to people that we don't know. So I feel what we can do, like those who are qualified in those areas to speak and be the counseling, they can also reach out to those in the community and have them bring them in with them, because we might have a better relationship with the ones needing counseling. We can sit down there with you, and we can be like it could be 3 of us, because you have a relationship with me and you're going to be more open. And we can do it like that instead of just putting somebody in front of a counselor who they really don't know, who has no type of background, because everybody won't take from everybody if you haven't been there. Yeah. So if we can do that and try to get, I think that'll be a lot of help.
Support.
Well, I definitely want to thank you both for coming through, dropping some knowledge on the people, sharing your background, sharing your information. Go vote, go vote, go vote. Yes. November 2nd. Those are the important things that affect not necessarily the community, but they affect you personally. They definitely affect you as a person. So please make sure you go out and vote, not necessarily for the judge of common pleas, but for everything that you see on that ballot, and vote for LaTasha Williams as well.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you both for being our guests. It was a good time. Thank you. And as we wrap up our show, my producer, you want to hand me that wheel of blessings, ma'am? We got most of it filled. Okay, look, it's kind of filled up.
Like that now.
Okay. So again, this is going to be for hopefully there's some fellas on here. There's going to be for a customized date, however you want it. It's 50% off, and when I tell you these dates are,
that would be dope for like 2 best friends too.
No, absolutely, it could be a date for anybody. It doesn't have to be your boo. It could be a girl's night. It could be a fella's night. That'd be weird, but we'll make it work.
Nah, because men need to treat themselves.
But you're absolutely right. It's off of a whole night. Yes. It's not necessarily a date night between you and your spouse. It could be a group. Food. It could be a group. It could be individuals. Yep. It could be however you want it. But 50% off is going to come to you. And I'm going to have my beautiful guest co-host spin the wheel for me.
All right, let's do this.
We're going to stop that. We're going to stop that. That don't count. That don't count.
I don't
She
want
didn't
to
use her
break it. I thought I was
muscles.
going to
She
break
didn't use
it.
her
I
muscles.
thought I was like, okay, all right.
All right, here we
so
go.
You want me to?
I want you to spin that wheel.
Okay.
There we go. And we have landed on. Oh
my gosh!
Oh,
my
there you go. There you go.
It's a man.
It's a man. It's a man.
It's Mike Simpson.
Mr. Mike Simpson.
Mike Simpson.
Mr. Mike, hit me up.
Listen.
Make sure we can get you your information so you can get in touch with Miss Maisha
Yeah.
Jackson for this beautiful date night.
Yeah, Mike, if you got a lady, you need to do this.
Mike, you getting some cheeks that night, Mike.
The right kind of cheeks.
Not all the cheeks,
Everything.
Mike. The cheeks. You getting all the cheeks, Mike. But that's enough of that. Again, we thank you guys. We thank everyone for tuning in, enjoying our day with
and
us.
Thank you guys for having me. This is a really, really dope way for me to go. I got to be around people that I love.
She's saying go. Now, I have to give you the floor for just a moment and explain what you mean by go.
Me and my family are moving to Atlanta, Georgia. It was done by the grace of God. There's no other explanation. I will take no credit for it. This has just been beautiful, like the art show yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Being on the show with you and just constantly being around. I love here. I love my city, and this is something that there was a discussion on Facebook about people, leaving out of the city they're raised in, with a negative look on, like, well, forget 717. I'm going here now. And it's like, no, like. This city's why I'm even known anywhere else.
Right.
This city showed me so much love. I love my city. And I'm just proud of the people that are still rocking here and doing this. Like, Thomas, you're killing it. There's so many people that are out here really doing it for 717. And I'm proud of y'all.
Well,
I'm about to start crying.
Well, we are proud of you. We are definitely proud of you.
Thank
And
you.
You have been an awesome guest co-host.
Thank you. I tried.
Anytime you are in town. Actually, shit, this is virtual. We can do this anytime.
Yeah, hold on. Don't forget about me now.
We can do this anytime. But anytime you are back home,
Yes.
anytime you are back home, you are always welcome.
Yes.
Always welcome at the meetup. So
we love all you guys. You guys wished blessings upon us, and we couldn't ask for a better way to move on to the next.
Well, we just want to let you know we not just necessarily the meetup. I'm sure the whole city of Harrisburg loves you, and we will definitely miss you and Vince.
Yes,
miss both of you guys. Miss both of you guys.
Look, the artists. It's the art. The artists are just like,
they
what
about to
am I
cry.
gonna do?
These artists is about to cry because Vince. Mac Sauce, Sauce to
because
beats,
he loves
everything
his,
that
he
got.
loves his art. Like it's not just a job for him.
Yeah,
he wants you to sound good. He wants you to love everything he can do for you, and he like you. You had him on the show. You know how much knowledge he likes to drop, and it's a passion, and we're both passionate about what we do, and we're taking it to bigger places.
If y'all are unsure of who Vince is, please watch the past episodes. Look up Mac Sauce. Sauce to go beats. He got your beats, mobile, everything. We have a beautiful model, actress. Y'all gonna go down there and kill it. So, and singer, all that shit.
Oh my God!
Oh, drop that! Tell me about that shit! Tell me about that shit! Tell me about that shit!
Say no. My song drops on Monday, y'all. My first single, engineered and mixed by Vince, featuring Thelonious. All right. I got it.
That's enough. She gave y'all the business. Please make sure y'all tap in. Check that out. It's called Your Love. Your Love.
So, ladies, I feel like a lot of I had a little mini listening party like a while ago. My closest friends came down. We sat around each other. I played it, and when I tell you, the room was so. Wait till you hear it, Tom. Like
I'm excited.
I want you to hear
am excited.
It is. My music comes straight from my pain, like that place where I used to be crying. Come on, ladies, like and this song is real. It's raw. I can't wait.
I'm beyond excited. So again, thank you guys for tuning in to an episode of the Meetup. We will be back in 2 weeks with a new guest co-host and more great guests and more great topics and some more motherfucking prizes for y'all too.
Tune in.
Yes, but thank you for tuning in, and thank you, Miss Deidre Beverly, and the best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. Yes, I can't wait for y'all to go. Shit.
No, you know, I can't wait.
I mean, I can't wait.